106.7 KCAL rocks. It is Monday, and man, another wild weekend of sports. That's why we got to talk to our guy, Pep. What's up, Pep?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning to all the KCAL rockers out there. The Dodgers are one win away from a World Series title, taking Game 5 against the Rays by a score of 4-2 on Sunday night. They will play again Tuesday, so Tuesday could be closing time for the Dodgers to win that title.
It's a much different feeling waking up this morning as a Dodger fan than it was yesterday morning waking up as a Dodger fan.
Oh my goodness, that game ended so suddenly and switched the other way so quickly.
The one Saturday night.
Correct.
Yeah,
game four had me from one more strike to boom, we just crapped the bed.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That was an ending.
That's why I love baseball. In fact, I was going through my Rolodex of memory of baseball plays, of all these crazy, plays in the World Series or plays that happened in the playoffs for baseball. Because baseball is such a wacky game. And yeah, you're right. For the Rays to win on Saturday, the way they did it, this dramatic, wacky fashion, and then to come back on Sunday, we're like, who's going to have the momentum now? Is Tampa Bay, have they stolen the momentum from the Dodgers? No, but the Dodgers buckled down. Clayton Kershaw wasn't great, but he was good enough. They hit a couple of home runs, and that was it, man. That's enough to get you a win, 4-2.
So hopefully Kershaw doesn't pitch anymore. And he can go out on top.
Yeah, he's done what he needed to do. Hopefully he's done now, right?
Please don't put him in. I'm so terrified that he's just going to ruin him. Basically, I already thought he was ruined. That's why 2 decent performances, finally pulling him in the 6th inning, I think is the key. We finally realized after a few years that he can only go 6 innings. If you let him go past that, it ruins everything.
It's going to get a little rocky. If you think about it, like Kershaw, Kenley Jansen, some of these guys are a liability right now. They're supposed to be the anchors of that pitching staff, from out of the bullpen and starting pitcher, obviously, for Kershaw. But I don't know, man. As a Dodger, if I'm a Dodger fan, I get a little bit nervous when I see those guys on the mound. So Game 6, we should not see Kershaw. And in Game 7, I guess anything goes. We could see him in a Game 7 if it went that far.
It's just one of those things where when they're on the mound, anything can happen.
Yes.
For Dodger fans, their emotional roller coaster is off tonight. Game 6 will be on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes. Off tonight. Just football tonight. World Series back on Tuesday. And as we move to football, big game tonight, Monday Night Football, Bears and Rams. Big NFC West game for the Rams as they're trying to, stay in on the heels of, I guess, several different teams now, which we're about to get to, including the Cardinals, including the 49ers. I could even say the Seahawks as well. Patrick, that was a crazy game on Sunday Night Football. As Arizona has shown with Kyler Murray, they're legit.
They are legit. It's like looking into a mirror, those two offenses. And I will give Arizona credit for the last couple of years. They have a very good anti-Russell Wilson defense that's very tough with the linebackers doing all kinds of stuff. Not flushing him out of the pocket. That takes away some of his weaponry.
Right.
And speaking of flushing him out of the pocket, our guy Kylie Fitz for Redlands East Valley, one of those Arizona Cardinals, chasing Russell Wilson all around the field, putting a little pressure on him. And it was good enough to make Russell Wilson maybe not look like Russell Wilson. I think it was like 3 interceptions, if I'm correct, for Russell Wilson last night.
But, I think he's still going to be right there in the MVP race with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had the down week last week. Russ has one this week. I'm sure they'll each have 1 or 2 more throughout the year. Somebody's going to be a dark horse.
Yeah, also props to DK Metcalf for doing the hustle play of the year, pulling a Don Beebe and running down that interception that basically saved the game for us. I know we did eventually end up losing, but if he doesn't make that play, it's over a lot sooner.
Yeah, it doesn't get to that point. You're right. You're exactly right, Patrick. So,
despite the Seattle loss, that is a play that will be an example for athletes for, I think, generations on just never giving up on a play. And just the hustle he showed was insane.
Best defensive play of the game made by a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Yes. So Arizona knocks off Seattle. So now we only have one undefeated team in the NFL. That would be Pittsburgh, who beat Tennessee head-to-head. The Steelers won 27-24. So the Steelers are 6-0 as, Seattle goes down to Arizona. So Pittsburgh, undefeated, guys. The Steelers right now.
And they look very good all the way around defense and obviously Big Ben.
That's the thing. It's not the team that people were looking at coming into the year, but they are solid.
And I think what we've seen, I know Le'Veon Bell did eventually kind of land with the Chiefs, but after Le'Veon Bell and all his troubles and Antonio Brown, obviously Mike Tomlin is one hell of a coach. If anyone doesn't want to admit it yet, He is.
Hey, and speaking of Antonio Brown, let me slip this in here real quick. Antonio Brown is signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers, not even really healthy on offense just yet, but they thrashed the Raiders yesterday, 45-20. And Tom Brady, old man Tom Brady, 4 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown. He snuck one in across the goal line. That was a big win on the road for the Bucs. They seem to at least look like they're getting better every week by week, improving with Tom Brady at quarterback.
Tom Brady had a very clean pocket, so he wasn't getting much pressure, so he picked him apart.
I mean, if they're staying healthy, too, that's a big part of this year. If you can stay healthy and play well, it's going to be a good year for you.
Yeah,
we're seeing more and more of Gronk, too. Tom Brady is finding Rob Gronkowski in that offense, man. It's like getting the band back together. Good old times.
Yeah, look out.
Hey, and what other...
on the other side of the Tom Brady thing, Cam Newton was benched over the weekend. Played so bad he got benched.
Well, the worst game for the Patriots in Belichick's, I believe, career. I mean, Stidham came in, like you said, 40. Wow.
It didn't look good.
Nope.
You remember we had this conversation a couple months ago, like, would New England be better? Like, was it more Belichick who ran this Patriots franchise, or was it more important that you had Tom Brady at quarterback? We're like, we can't wait to see. How's New England going to do without Brady? How's Brady going to do without Belichick in Tampa Bay? I'm not saying, like, Brady's the answer, but it's sure looking that way.
7 weeks in, it's leaning towards Brady pretty heavily. 7 weeks in.
Pep can hear Brady laughing.
Right now with Giselle by his side, laughing all the way to the bank with lots of money and beautiful wife and the whole deal. Hey,
good life for him.
It's not too bad. Hey, and one other score I wanted to toss out to you guys. Justin Herbert, the quarterback for the Chargers, his first NFL win as a starter as they beat Jacksonville 39-29. He had a great game. 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. He looks like the real deal.
He looks legit. And I mean, the one thing I had heard was that, he runs faster than Cam Newton and he's bigger than Cam Newton. And the thing that me and Patrick kept talking about all offseason was, why are the Chargers not signing Cam Newton? He's available.
It's true.
We see now. I mean, Herbert is fun as hell to watch.
He's sneaky fast. He's a gym rat. He also, when he makes those big, deep throws, it's like, that's an NFL throw, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, and you can see why the Chargers liked him so much. I know there's a lot of questions like, why, should you take this guy that high? But he's a franchise quarterback, man. He's proven it. And remember, he was thrust into action at the last minute. His first game, right. I mean, he wasn't preparing as the starter that week. They just threw him in there. And you can see he's really blossomed the last couple of weeks. Now, the Chargers don't have a great record, but they're playing better football, I guess you could say.
And then one last thing before we move off of football to watch this week, the NFL trade deadline is coming up, and they're saying, like, Julio Jones is probably going to get traded. Wow. Will Ryan Fitzpatrick get traded now that the Dolphins don't need him anymore? So there could be some interesting stuff going on before the trade deadline.
The NFL.
Yeah, and there could be, because consider this, too. Like, because of COVID out there, you might want to stockpile some guys just in case you're going down the home stretch and you get some positives.
That's basically what Bruce Arians said bringing AB was. He's like, we have 2 Pro Bowlers who are injured at receiver. We have another Pro Bowler available. That's why we took him.
So do that, and then also your practice squad is becoming very important.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those are the guys waiting in the wings just in case for the
NFL.
Need them.
Gotta have them.
And finally, I think it was like Saturday afternoon because of the time change, but Saturday afternoon, Khabib Nurmagomedov, I think I said that right, with the win against Gaethje. And at 40, I know you're our resident MMA guy, UFC. So Khabib goes out on top, and then he announces his retirement. That's literally like riding off into the sunset, right, after a big win.
I mean, no signs that this was going to be the thing. This was actually the fight that unified the belt for that, because from when Conor had vacated the title all the way back when, and there was a big fight setting up in January or February with Conor and Poirier. That was going to be the fight to see who would take on Khabib for the title. Khabib retires right afterwards. It's kind of a reaction to his father passing away from COVID earlier this year, who was his trainer and a big part of his fighting life. Dana White was after the post-fight interview, was sitting there and he was asked about what do you do with the vacant title now, and you could tell that thought had not even entered his head. He was thinking, one of my biggest stars has just retired. He wasn't even thinking about the title that he had. He's like, don't ask me about the belt right now.
And this is a star that is very disciplined, so it scares me that he has kind of trapped himself. And he is a guy who's like, if I keep my word, I stick to it. It's like, uh-oh.
He seems like that, and if this is his word, if he is going out, one of the best, if not the greatest, undefeated, pound for pound, one of the most exciting fighters there is.
As of right now, he is the baddest man on the planet.
No, I think you guys are right. I think you're exactly right. But it sounds like he's not going to pull a Brett Favre. I guess I'm not done yet. I'll come back.
It's hard because it seems like it's one of those emotional retirements, but he does seem like one of those guys who sticks to his word at the same time. So it's hard to gauge with him.
I bet he comes around, and I mean, I'm not trying to insinuate that he's a welter or whatever, because I think deep down he's a fighter.
Right.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
He's a real fighter, and I think he's very emotional over his father's death, but I think you come around and realize that maybe his father would want him to fight.
Yeah. And he's still a young guy, too. So
yeah.
If this is it for him, awesome. It's been great watching him. I maybe hope that he comes back. I hope this isn't the last we've seen of him. I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think there's a slim chance we'll see him again.
Absolutely.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Pat, tell me how to get your stuff.
Exactly. Inland Sports all over social media. Inland Sports, the YouTube channel, talking about UCR basketball and CBU basketball, setting their schedules, getting ready to play this season. College hoops is happening.
Hey.
Thanks, Pat.